Guys, if you could do me a really quick favor, if this video showed up in your For You page, please take a second to comment FYP. That lets me know that YouTube is sharing my videos. It gives me information and it helps with the algorithm because you're engaging with this video. That helps push this video to other people and I greatly appreciate it. Welcome to the channel, guys. Today we're going to be looking at this Gordon Carbine-ish build. It's definitely not 100% correct Gordon Carbine clone, but certainly scratches the itch. And as you can see, it's a really cool looking build nonetheless. A gun in this style was carried by Master Sergeant Gary Gordon in the Battle of Mogadishu, so that makes it a really popular gun for cloners. The main reason I started this build was to have a carbine that I could run my Otter Creek Labs OCM5 on. This is a super quiet 5.56 suppressor. Sounds fantastic on my Mark 12, so I wanted that capability on just a regular short carbine. Now this carbine's built off a 12.5-inch upper. The original Gordon Carbine would be built off a 14.5-inch upper and would run an OpsInc M4 suppressor. I've got a couple accessories on this build that lets me run the Mark 12 suppressor, so you're able to get that same type of look but run a more obtainable suppressor. The Mark 12 style suppressors are much more common, much more in use than the M4 suppressor. Allen Engineering does make an M4 suppressor that works with a 14.5-inch barrel, but they run them in limited batches and they're kind of hard to come by. Time to thank my channel members. Your all support means the world to me. If you guys are interested in joining them and gaining access to exclusive perks, just hit that join button beneath the video and become part of the team. Guys, I need to take a minute to tell you about our channel sponsor, Aura. You know those annoying spam calls you get from marketers wanting to sell you something? You ever wonder how they get your info? Well, they get that info from data brokers. Data brokers make money by selling your information, and they make billions of dollars doing it. The bad part about it, it's legal for them to do this. Now, they are required to remove your info if you request, but they make it nearly impossible to track down every data broker and get that information removed. Aura does all the legwork, contacts all these companies and data brokers, and erases your information from their systems. On top of all that, you get a secure VPN, antivirus software, a password manager, and more. Aura will monitor 24/7 to make sure your identity is secure. You get real-time fraud alerts for credit and banking, and they let you know immediately if your information's found on the dark web. With Aura, you get US-based support available 24/7. You get $5 million in identity theft protection insurance, so you have that peace of mind knowing you're protected. I'm sure you've probably seen tons of ads for identity theft protection services, but trust me, they're not like Aura. Aura offers much more than just identity theft protection. And if you're still hesitant, the best way to try it out is by using my link, aura.com/Kentucky Tactical. That'll give you 14 days free to try out the service. Within that 14 days, Aura will go in, find out where your information's being exposed and sold. This is a valuable service that I just signed up for myself. I'm not leaving myself vulnerable, and you shouldn't either. All right, guys, we'll start off doing a little bit of shooting. And if you all are interested in all the parts that went into making up this build, be sure to stick around. We'll have that at the end of the video. One thing I do want to point out real quick, I did do a short on this gun a little while back, and you probably noticed it had an ACOG in it in that short. And now we've switched that over. We're running a Vortex strike fire. The original Gordon Carbine did run a red dot, probably an aim.2000 or an aim.3000. The gun did look good with the ACOG on it. I've just never really been a fan of the ACOG. They've got such short eye relief, and on a build like this, with the extreme angle of the A2 grip, you really need that stock extended to get even a halfway decent angle of your wrist. And if you know, with an ACOG, they have really short eye reliefs, and you've got to be just an inch or two away from that ACOG to get a good field of view through the scope. I actually had that ACOG laying around that I've had for over a decade, I guess. Broke it out to throw it on this build, and as you can see, I've already replaced it. So back in the parts bin with the ACOG, I probably should have sold it years ago. Now the tritium's burnt out of it, everything else. So unfortunately, just never been a real big fan of the ACOG style sights. You'll probably also notice right away I'm running a modern weapon light. The Surefire light definitely would not have been available back in Gary Gordon's day. But finding one of those original lights, they were like dive lights, is extremely difficult and can be extremely cost prohibitive. So went with the Surefire light. As you can see, I've just got that mounted up on a front sight pick rail. Works out really good. Running it off a tape switch, and I've got the tape switch secured to the handguard with some 100-mile-per-hour tape. Next thing is going to be the OCM5 suppressor. Like I said earlier, they ran an M4 suppressor on a 14.5-inch barrel. But to be able to run a Mark 12 style suppressor, you'll want to go with a 12.5-inch upper, or a 12.7-inch upper will work as well, but those are kind of hard to come by. You will need an OBSYNC style brake. And we've got what's called a Gordon collar back here at the base that allows this particular setup to work with the Mark 12 suppressor. I picked up this Gordon collar from Allen Engineering. It's a really simple process. You just measure the diameter of your barrel and select the corresponding collar size off their website. Next big difference is going to be the trigger. I'm not running a mil-spec trigger in this build. I went with the LaRue MBT2S trigger, 2-stage trigger. Really nice trigger, and it's affordable. If you're looking for a really good trigger that's not going to break the bank, check out the LaRue MBTS. It's probably one of the best triggers you can get for the money. Alright guys, let's run a few rounds through it. Stick around to the end of the video if you're interested in all the individual parts. Alright, let's put some rounds down range. Really quiet. Definitely gassy. The OCM5 is a really gassy, real full back pressure suppressor. Ejection pattern's not bad at all. Woo! Gun definitely shoots really nice and sounds excellent. I got a piece of steel sitting out there about 75 yards. Looks like we're sighted in pretty good. I'll take you down, show you the target, and then we'll have a little fun with this carbine. Alright, here's our final group. We got one hit there, and one right there. So I'm going to call that good. We're at 50 yards, so not too bad. It's about a 1-inch little circle we was aiming at with a red dot. I'll take it. Definitely a little gassy. Let me pop an ear off. Oh yeah. Definitely not bad at all. We'll go no ears. Definitely get a little gas back. See if we can connect on steel at 240. Standing shot, 240 yards. See if we can get it again. Guess that shot was a fluke. Very quiet, no discomfort at all shooting it without ear pro. This OCM5 is a top-notch Mark 12 suppressor. I have done a full video on the OCM5 back in my earlier YouTube days, but if you're interested in watching that, I'll put a card up on the screen. We're right here at Dusky Dark. Let's see how the OCM5 does with flash. I'm going to try a shot on my steel target that's at 240 yards. Probably a slim chance of hitting it with this red dot and a 50-yard zero. And we've got the sun setting in that direction. Actually, I can barely see the plate at all, but we'll take a couple shots. We won't waste too much time on it, but just for shits and giggles, let's see what it does at 240 yards. Oh, we got it. Wow. Got it. Got it. There we go. This is a fun gun to shoot, and at the same time a not so fun gun to shoot due to the ergonomics. This A2 grip is terrible. I hate the angle on it. It reminds me of why we switched from the A2 grip years ago. This grip is terrible, but it's kind of required to go along with the theme of the build, so it is what it is. We'll make it work. I've got a neighbor up the road mowing, guys, so I apologize if that sound's coming across on the video. Alright, for those of you that hung around to the end of the video, I really appreciate it. Real quick, we'll go over this carbine. We'll start at the rear, make our way forward. Now, a Car 15 stock is a requirement if you're going after the Gordon Carbine look. This is the Car 15 stock from B5. They make a replica. The original one is made of aluminum. It's very expensive, like over $100. The B5 Car 15 stock's really affordable. Looks the part, and it's a really well made stock. Coming on up, I'm running a regular carbine buffer, nothing special about it. M4 castle nut and end plate. The lower is the Palmetto State Armory Stealth lower. Stealth meaning it just doesn't have their big logo on it. I wish I would have went with their M16 marked lower, which would have been a little more clone correct. In the lower, I'm running a CMMG parts kit. The trigger is a LaRue MBT 2-stage trigger. It's the flat face trigger. A really nice trigger, very affordable. Of course, we're running the A2 grip, standard USGI 30 round magazine. Running a Colt M16 bolt carrier group, just an extra bolt carrier group that I had laying around. Now the upper is a complete upper that I bought from B Kings. I actually did quite a bit of searching for a 12.5 inch upper with a fixed front sight base, and apparently they're not as common as I think they should be. But I did find one in stock at B Kings Firearms. From what research I've done, B Kings makes some quality parts, so everything seems to be holding up and running really well. Now the upper did come with the thick M4 style handguards, and for a Gordon Carbine clone you want the thin Car 15 handguards, which is what we've got here. I think I picked these up from Brownells for little or nothing. They didn't cost that much. The main problem was the upper was a flat top upper, and I really wanted a fixed carry handle upper. If I would have been a little more patient or had a little more due diligence, I certainly could have made that happen. PSA has carry handle uppers available through their H&R line, and I definitely wished I would have took the time and went that route, because the detachable carry handle, it's just not the same as a fixed carry handle upper. Just doesn't have the same vibes. But that's what we ended up doing, going with the detachable carry handle upper. To that I mounted a Picatinny rail that was made just for the carry handle upper. It holds in with just this big knob. And I started out with an ACOG on this build, an old ACOG that I've had for years and years and years, long enough that the tritium's burned out of it. But I've never been a huge fan of the ACOG. That's why it's been laying around in a box for all these years. I did originally paint this gun with that ACOG on it, so I've got an ACOG laying around with this same paint scheme. But just really didn't like the ACOG at all. The main reason I didn't like it, the ACOG has such a short eye relief. You had to run this stock pretty much all the way in, and with the grip angle on the A2 grip, it just wasn't working out at all. It put your wrist at such an extreme angle that it made it really uncomfortable to shoot. Now the original Gordon Carbine build ran a red dot anyway. PSA just happened to be running a sale on these Vortex strike fires, which kind of have the look of an aim point. So picked one of these up. I think they were on sale for $99, which was a great deal. These sights usually sell for I think $199. So took the ACOG off, went with the Vortex strike fire. Of course, had to paint it to match the rest of the build. And guys, let me know down in the comment section what you think of this paint job. I think it turned out looking really, really good. I really like this paint scheme. Coming on up, I wanted to run a weapon light. I put a weapon light on all my builds. This Surefire light, definitely not period correct, clone correct, nowhere near it. Since we were running the Car 15 handguards, there's no good place to mount a light. So I picked up one of these front sight Picatinny sections, It's got a pick rail on each side of the front sight, and that allowed me to mount the Surefire light directly to that Picatinny section with the mount that the Surefires come with. And you can see I'm running the tape switch. I've got that secured to the top of the handguard with some 100-mile-an-hour tape. The tape actually is clone correct for a Gordon Carbine, so that looks really good on the build. I like the look of just the tape on the handguards, really. And then up front, what really makes a Gordon Carbine build is the ability to run these OpSync style suppressors. Like I said, this isn't the clone correct suppressor. They ran the M4 suppressor that sleeved over a 14.5-inch barrel. That suppressor is really hard to catch in stock. Allen Engineering makes a run ever so often. Once they do another run of the M4 suppressor, I've got a notification set. I plan to pick one up. And if I'm able to get one, I'll do an actual clone correct Gordon Carbine build with a 14.5-inch upper. But one of the acceptable methods of cloning the Gordon Carbine is to use the Mark 12 suppressor. To do that, you'll need what's come to be known as the Gordon collar. That's this collar you see here at the front of the front sight base. And you'll see that provides the taper portion for the rear of our suppressor. And the best I could tell, Allen Engineering does a really good job of keeping these collars in stock. You just need to take a set of calipers, measure the diameter of your barrel right here where this collar is going to go, and they'll have a drop down menu where you can select the exact size of your measurement. And when you get the collar, they also include the size below it and the size above it, so you won't have any trouble fitting it to your barrel. Once you slide your collar in place, this clamps around it, and it's a really secure mount. You don't have to worry about it going anywhere. And of course, you'll need the muzzle device. This is the OpSync style muzzle device for the Mark 12. This muzzle device is required to run these types of suppressors. The suppressor actually threads on to the muzzle device here and uses the tapers back here at the back to align the suppressor. This has proven to be a really good suppressor mounting system. In testing, it proved to have the least point of impact shift, so that's a big reason why they went with this setup on the Mark 12. And once it's all together, it makes for one of the sexiest carbine builds that's ever been conceived. I absolutely love the look of this carbine, and it's not so far away from maybe some of my modern setups where we've switched to these big tall risers for our red dots. I didn't have any problems adjusting to the red dot height. The main problem I had, like I said earlier, was with this A2 grip. This grip angle is just terrible. You put your wrist at such an extreme angle when you use modern shooting techniques. This grip angle was more suited to the old school bladed style of shooting. It is most comfortable to me with the stock extended all the way in its furthest out position. But you can probably take this carbine, put it in the hands of any modern shooter, and they'd adapt to it pretty quickly. Alright guys, that's my Gordon Carbine-ish build. Got to throw that ish in there. Probably going to get plenty of comments from the die-hard cloners. Anytime you come close to cloning a build, typically you'll get the diehards down in the comments that just tearing you a new one. If you're not running the exact safety selector or one of your roll pins are different, I mean, some of these guys get really deep into the clones, and I definitely appreciate that. I'd love to do a 100% clone correct build someday. So far, I haven't proven to have the patience for it. I always rush to get a build completed, but one of these days we'll definitely do a clone correct build here on the channel. I'm actually really looking forward to it, and I'm hoping that it'll be the Gordon Carbine once we can get that M4 suppressor. Alright guys, hopefully you all liked this video. If you did, please take a second to hit that like button. It really helps out a lot. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe with all notifications. You can also help the channel out by becoming a member. Just hit that join button beneath the video. Becoming a member puts you on the front lines of helping to grow this channel, and it's greatly appreciated. Guys, be safe, be dangerous, and be sure to catch me on the next video.